Were you told you were shy? Do you identify as shy? Do you hate that word now? Do you just wish you could get over it and get on with your life? Welcome to Shining Beyond Shy, empowering you to create a greater life than you ever thought was possible. With your Shining Beyond Shy host, Fiona Cuts. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Shining Beyond Shy. I'm your host, Fiona Cuts, and I'm calling this episode Creating from the Crazy, which makes me laugh. So here I am in England. I've actually been in England for, lost track, 2.5 weeks. Wow, I didn't think I was going to stay so long. And getting myself to England was really actually quite difficult. I have a sense that a lot of the things that I didn't want to know about England, if you like, came into my world before I landed. And I've had a rather crazy time here. And it's interesting because, I mean, if you've been listening to other of my podcasts, you'll know, if you follow me on social media or you know me personally, you'll know that I'm no stranger to having a crazy time. And so I'll just tell you a little bit about some of the things that occurred. So one of the first things that was rather crazy was that I'd been staying with my friend in Cambridge, and I got an Uber to the station, like literally a 10-minute drive to the station. And I was chatting away to the Uber driver and basically left my phone in the Uber. And I mean, my phone had my e-ticket on it, and I wasn't able to get internet connection on my other phone. Fortunately, I have another phone, so I have my Croatian or Egyptian or Montenegrin or wherever else I am phone. And in the UK, that only functions when there's Wi-Fi. And so I was like, great. And the really great thing was that I was at the station early and I couldn't get onto Wi-Fi, and I had to, well, basically I just said to the ticket lady, when she's like, well, if you can't get onto Wi-Fi, basically, excuse my language, basically you're fucked, you need your ticket. And I just said to her, look, I'm in a lot of distress. I've just lost my phone and I would really appreciate your help at this point. And gave her my Croatian phone. She was able to get me online. I was able to download the ticket, blah, blah, blah. And then when I got onto the train, I spent the whole time on the train seeing how I could contact Uber to get my phone back. So basically, in order to contact Uber, you need your phone. It's kind of crazy. And anyway, I spent like literally the 2-hour train journey finding different ways to contact Uber and downloading Skype so that I could actually talk on my Croatian phone, blah, blah, blah. And then when I arrived in New York, I was seeing my brother, and there was a whole load more crazy. My brother wasn't at the station, and we hadn't agreed that he would be, but I told him that I was traveling and had a big suitcase, so I just expected he would be there. Never expect anything, especially in my family. So my brother wasn't there, and I couldn't call them to see what was going on because it wasn't a Wi-Fi connection, blah, blah, blah. And I basically ended up turning up at their house very, very late through a series of events. And there have been other crazies, like my phone being sent first class took like 3 or 4 days to arrive, by which time I'd gone to the next place. So basically I haven't had my phone for 2 weeks, happily reunited yesterday. And then I had another document, which again, I asked to be sent first class, which again took like 3 or 4 days. And I had to get my friend to intercept it and send it to me here in Hebden Bridge. Anyway, I say all these things because actually now they're over, they don't seem so difficult, but sometimes it's like in the moment, it's like that sort of, oh, I really need my phone for this, this, and this. Oh, I really need these. So the papers that my friend that I was having sent to me are the papers to be able to stay in Croatia. I really need those. And then, I mean, I often have this, and I know a lot of people find this very, very difficult. I'm most likely leaving England on Sunday, and I don't know whether I'm flying to Croatia or to Spain yet. Various things, waiting for various things. But basically, my Airbnb ran out, and my friend who I was going to stay with isn't very well. And it's like, I was just in this space of, okay, I've got my suitcase and everything's pretty booked up in Hebden Bridge. And I am now staying with a friend. And, but just that thing of not really being certain what next. But now we come to this, that was kind of like the entertainment. This entertained me anyway, so let's see. And let's just do this. If ever you create your brand of crazy, and for you, it will be different stuff. I mean, as you see, everybody has this crazy traveling lifestyle where they can't get things sent to them with ease. And most people have a place that they stay in most of the time, so they know where they're going to be staying. But you may have your own brand of crazy. So everything hearing me talk about my brand of crazy brings up in your world, truth, will you destroy and uncreate that? I'm just going to use the Access Consciousness clearing statement. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all 9 shorts, boys, povads and beyonds. And if you don't know the clearing statement, you can go to theclearingstatement.com and read about it, hear about it. Basically, it just clears the energy that requires to be let go of to have freedom in a certain area of your life. And if you do know the clearing statement and you're like, it sounds like it's a bit different. Well, it is a bit different. We've added in POVADs, the points of view that you're avoiding and defending. And this is where there's so much energy locked up, where you avoid things at the same time as secretly defending them or openly defending them. And it can unlock so much stuff that the founder and co-founder of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas, Jane here, decided to actually include it in the clearing statement so that those energies are caught every time we clear something. So how does it get better than this? A new clearing statement. And so what have I done with this chaos? Well, basically what I've seen sometimes for me in the past when I've had chaos, particularly in the last couple of traveling years, is that I go to spending my whole life unraveling and sorting out the chaos. So I've had chaos with apartments in the past. And it's like my mind gets obsessed with the problem and I can't see that I can continue with my life, continue with creation, because I get obsessed with the problem. And my sense is beyond this, that the crazy partly occurs because I'm not getting on with my life. So it's like if I was getting on with my life, there may not be the space for the crazy to occur. But the way beyond it is to make the demand that the crazy doesn't deflect you from what you would like to have in your life. So for me at the moment, it's like, well, moving forward with my businesses, I have a new and exciting business, just being present with that and all of my businesses. It's about, it's funny to say this, but you've heard me talk about this. It's about continuing to make sure that, it's so funny to say this, but it's so true, that I actually enjoy my life, that I don't get completely submerged in work, that it's like, I mean, I love the work that I do, but it's like, I know it won't work for me creating my life if I'm not having really fun things. And a lot of the time for me, that's dance, and it can be other things. Just really making sure that I don't forget about that because I'm busy chasing packages around the country or whatever it is, or looking for my next Airbnb. And yeah, so that, my sense is the antidote to the crazy, truly creating your life, truly choosing what's true for you. And of course, using the questions in the moment. So yesterday I was moving from my Airbnb to another place in Hebden Bridge. And when I arrived in the Airbnb, my lovely friend, who I didn't know had a car, came to pick me up. And I said, oh, thank you so much. Because it's like, I have the amount of stuff that I can walk with, but it's not, it's okay. It's way better than it was, but it requires, and it would have been like a 15-minute walk and a little bit uphill. And it was such ease that my friend came to meet me. So on the day that I was moving, the friend that I'm now staying with is out during the day from, I think, 10 till 6. And I just wrote to him and I was like, is it best really if I come around in the evening? And he was like, no, if you're quick, you can come now. And my friend, at the same time as one friend was saying, if you're quick, you can come now, my girlfriend with the car was just messaged me saying, hey, I'm not up yet, but if you want to leave your suitcase in my car, and I'll ding the thing from inside in my dressing gown, then I'll come round with it later. And I was like, oh my God, I was just going into my head about how I would have to leave the case somewhere during the day. I wouldn't have anywhere to be in the day because my friend, blah, blah, blah. And then it's suddenly asking for ease, joy, glory. It was so easy to move here, so easy to move here. And then when my friend showed me the room I was staying, so I was like, oh, there's not much, it didn't, well, there's loads of stuff in the room and it didn't feel very spacious. And basically when he came back from work, we just changed it around completely. And I'm now in this really light space. So how does it get better than that? So just to say again, if you are creating crazy, the antidote is to get really clear on what you would like in your life. And you can just say, so we're not brought up to know what we'd like in our lives. So just asking, hey, universe, show me what's true for me. Show me the energy of my life. Show me what's true for me. That can start to bring in that can start to bring in for you the awareness of what you would actually like to have in your life. So you're not like I used to be, being an accountant, desperately living your life for your dad, hoping that he'll one day love you. It's like, no, get clarity on what's true for you and live your life from that place. And yes, so that's the first thing, clarity, live your life from that place, but really, really, really use the tools. So when it's difficult in the moment, well, I can't remember, there was something that was really, one of these things was super difficult for me at one point. And oh yes, it was the day that, so basically the day that this letter needed to be sent on to me, I was leaving for the north of England too early to collect the letter. My friend was leaving an hour later so she could collect the letter. But I was on the underground and couldn't communicate with her, and I wasn't sure that the hotel would really give the letter to someone who wasn't me. And I did everything I could before I set off on the underground without internet connection. And I was just like, how can all of this turn out better than I could ever imagined? How can all of this turn out better than ever I could imagined? Came out of the tube and ding, on my phone, my friend messaging me, oh, I've got your package. And it arrived the next day here in Hudson Bridge. How does it get easier than this? So really, what if we are willing to have the ease, the joy, the glory beyond the chaos? Okay, beautiful people, I will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I'm so grateful for you. It would be great if you could subscribe, great if you could even review wherever you're listening. And if you'd like some quick, simple tips to overcome shyness wherever you are, please go to my website, fionacuts.com, where you can download my free product, 5 Steps to Overcoming Shyness Wherever You Are. Thank you again, and see you next time.